Hello, you guys. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. It is so nice to have you here. We're going to take a little break from what we normally talk about tonight, and I got something because I'm really excited about this. And it's a there's a whole bunch of puns you can use. When you're done, you're going to be so much better than you were before you started watching this. The topic tonight is sweet. It's basically we're going to talk about honey. So I met this guy in Portland, and my son said, because Kathy and I got into honey about a year and a half ago, because we started reading a lot about it and finding out how your body naturally it understands what honey is because it's real food. It doesn't understand what sugar is, so it's better for your body to eat honey. And then my son Jake said, "Oh, Dad, there's a guy right down our neighborhood, and we went and bought honey from him, and you will not believe it." So tonight you're going to expect to find out why honey's so good for you, what kind of honey's out there. You don't have to have honey from your area in order for it to maybe do some good for in terms of allergies and that kind of thing. But you're also going to find out that there is honey all over the entire world. And Jeff Garner is the guy who gets it. He finds it if you name a country, I bet he has honey from that country. So our sponsor tonight is Dr. Michael Bratlin. If you're looking for a dentist who really does a great job, especially if you're looking for crowns and that kind of thing, Dr. Bratlin is your man. He's very good at this. And also we have a new sponsor, Alan Thayer and the Innovative Law Group. It's Alan and Clark work there. But he does estate planning and also business law. But he sent me some little facts today, and I thought you Oregonians should know this. Do you know Oregon is the most expensive state to die in? I know, that's not funny, but it really is. It's one of the greediest states in terms of taxes. One of 12 states that impose a death tax. Montana, where I live, no death tax, no taxes on your stuff after you die. And it's the third highest death tax in the country. So if you need help with that, if you're looking for somebody that could help you, you need to plan ahead because, nobody wants to talk about death, but you need to kind of plan ahead and understand that this can happen. And living in Oregon, you need to be a real good planner and have somebody like Alan and Clark who know what they're doing to help you plan around that. So those are our two sponsors tonight. On the internet connection, I just lost Jeff. So he will be back. He's going to be kind of figuring out how to get that thing back on there. But one of my, Jeff has at his honey shop, and it's really in kind of, I guess the address would be Portland. Not downtown, but on the west side of Portland. And I get this buckwheat honey, and I absolutely love this stuff. And I just ran out. Kathy has a firethorn honey that she has, but they come from, wherever they put the beehives, then the honey comes from. This buckwheat that I get is absolutely black. It's like this dark black. You stick that in your coffee, and it's unfrickin' believable. I mean, really good. Hey, John Bolton, it's good to see you too. And honey is a superpower food, and it is the most amazing thing. And here's my man, Jeff. Jeff, I have been dancing. My last name is Dancer, and I have been tap dancing, waiting for you to get there. So it's good. Now we're on your phone. I think this is going to work better. So welcome.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Do you have your computer still on?
Yes.
Shut it off because it's talking back to me.
No, it's your speaker.
Oh, it's my Bluetooth speaker that I pour honey with. It keeps me going every day.
So how did you, first of all, tell people how you got into honey?
Well, this gal right here, Jennifer, she had a plan for us when we got together. We moved into her childhood house, and it's kind of a farmhouse. It's almost an acre, and she had a plan to incorporate chickens and have bees and grow our own vegetables and do the whole urban farm thing. And so we took classes on beekeeping, set up our hives, and did that for a couple years. And with just a couple hives, we didn't have much honey to sell. So I got in love with selling honey. And so we were contacted by our local beekeeping association to let us know that one of the longtime members looked for somebody to take over his honey business. So we responded right away. And make a long story short, we left his place with some honey buckets and jars and labels and hit the ground running. And we'll be celebrating 10 years in May this year. And
So,
Beelicious been a godsend for us.
so why is honey such a big deal right now? I mean, it always has been throughout history, but we are learning. What do we know about honey and why it's so good for people?
Well, the FDA needs to recognize it more than they do. So everything I'm going to say today, as far as it could help this, it could help that, it's unproven officially. So we have to be really careful on what we say. But honey, I mean, bees have been around since the dinosaurs. Honey has been around in also the Romans, the Mayans, the Incas. They all have used honey for numerous things, for infections, for wound dressings, for gastrointestinal issues, for nutrition. Honey is a powerhouse of product. It has many, many vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, antioxidants. You could actually live on honey and bee pollen for months and months without food and be just fine, because it has so many vitamins and minerals.
And bees produce the honey based on where they're put. So if you want it to be firethorn, you put it near firethorn. If you want it to be buckwheat, you put it near buckwheat. And
Correct.
that is so. I don't think people realize. Like one of your more popular ones that I thought is delicious is meadow foam, and we grow a lot of that in the Willamette Valley there in Oregon.
Yeah. Yes, it's pretty unique to Oregon only. We sell it all over the country. People hear about this meadow foam. It's purely the nectar from the flower. All of our different honeys are nectars from that particular bloom. When the chestnut tree opens up and it starts opening flowers, the bees go to that nectar, gather that. And then as beekeepers, you hurry up, and once that bloom is done, you take that box of honey and you procure it, and don't let anything else go into it. So that's the whole key. But meadow foam is by far our best seller. Has notes of marshmallow. It's very confectionery, and people who don't know much about honey, they go crazy for this stuff.
So you're a honey. Give me the term again. Like we have whiskey.
So I am in the process. I've completed 2 of the 3 levels to become a honey sommelier.
A sommelier. So this
Sommelier.
is like snotty honey.
Pardon me?
This is like snotty honey.
Yes.
You have to say it, Jeff. You have to say it like this. I am a sommelier of honey.
Yes. Well, I'm getting over a cold, so maybe that's the. But there's 3 designations for sommeliers. Wine being the most common. Everyone's heard of a wine sommelier. But then there's also olive oil and honey. So I'm studying, and my final level would be to take the test over in Italy. It's a 3-day intense course, not only identifying honeys, but blended honeys, smelling. It's really, really difficult, but I'm this close to getting that certification, probably this year.
When you guys started doing this, you didn't realize how addicted and obsessive you were going to become?
No, and that's what really got me interested in all the different kinds of honeys. I took a honey sensory course down at UC Davis probably about 8 years ago. A gal down there named Amina Harris, she taught the course and talked about honeys from all over the world and all the different tastes and smells and applications and how healthy different honeys are. It got me totally intrigued. So I'm kind of a nerd. So I just started reading everything about honeys and started finding out the real powerhouse honeys in the world for medicinal value. And then also the different incredibly delicious honeys out there. And I said, hey, I've got a real diverse customer base here in our store, in our tasting room. I want to supply as much as I can for my customer. And it tickles me to no end when somebody comes out and reaches out and says, hey, do you have stingless bee honey from Africa? Well, yes, I do. It's really, really satisfying.
Dave, one of our John Bolton wants to know: have you tried MAD, M-A-D, MAD honey?
I wasn't going to bring it up today, but we are selling. We had our best month ever last month in e-commerce, and 2/3 of that was Mad Honey. We sell both the Himalayan cliff Mad Honey from Nepal. We also have the Turkish Delhi Ball honey. They're both Mad Honeys, and in a nutshell, I don't like the term mad used because it's really not necessarily taken for hallucinogenic properties, but what it is the rhododendron. There's a species of rhododendron that grows in the Black Sea area, and this particular rhododendron species produces a chemical in the nectar called granotoxin. And realistically, this stuff is toxic in huge amounts, but in small amounts, it's very medicinal, very relaxing, very anti-anxiety. I have a gal that doesn't have to take her blood pressure medicine because of this honey. So we sell tons of it on our website. We just got in new inventory, so we're raring to go. But that's funny you mentioned that because
I have a very astute audience. I mean, these people know stuff. Somebody says, "Do you make mead?" And please explain. Tupelo honey, Tupelo.
Tupelo. We have honey. It's from Georgia. It's the Van Morrison honey he sang about. The Tupelo is very rare. When the Tupelo tree blooms in northern Georgia, they put the beehives on boats, and they have to go into the marsh and to collect this honey. And this particular honey doesn't crystallize. It's one of the few that doesn't solidify. It's just delicious. It tastes like gingerbread almost, and has notes of butterscotch in it. It's delicious.
How many different kinds of different countries do you get honey from? Do you know? I mean,
we have. I just counted the other day. We're up to about 125 different varieties of honeys from all over the world. But we have honey from Spain, from Italy, from the UK, from Tasmania, New Zealand, Australia, Nepal, Turkey. We have honey from Italy, Greek honey, just to name a few.
People are already asking for what is your how do I get them in touch with you? I'm going to put it in the comment section here. Give me your email.
Our email is www.beelicioushoney.com. So it's a play on.
Throw it all out for me, will you?
Okay, so it's www.bee, and you can use the hyphen or not, and then the rest is licious, LICIOUS, and then honey, HONEY.com.
Okay, you guys, I put it on there, and so it should come up on every single channel, so all of them, because this goes out to a bunch of different channels, so we should get that out there to you guys.
I'm glad you want this to be an advertisement for us, but I'm glad there's a lot of interest.
No, now I got into this because I really did read an article, and they said that your body, sugar is a foreign substance to your body, and it doesn't. I'm not going to use the right words, but it doesn't work right in your body. And whereas honey, your body recognizes because it's natural. It's something that you're supposed to, that your body can recognize. And so that's when I started using it. But I also heard that it helps with allergies, maybe. And again, you're not a doctor.
Big time. In fact, if you go to any allergy doctor, if they know what they're talking about, they'll tell you, get some local pure raw honey and eat it a few months before allergy season to build up your histamines. And then once the allergy season hits, you probably won't be affected. I recommend at least a tablespoon or two in the morning, first thing, without any food, and then about 30 minutes before bedtime.
See, and I use it in my coffee, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. I mean,
you like dark stuff, the stuff that looks like motor oil, buckwheat.
You guys, I'm telling you, if you're going to order from John or from Jeff, I'm looking at John's name on here, and I'm thinking you. If you're going to order from Jeff, you really should look at the buckwheat. Now, I'm telling you, it's got a real strong flavor and it doesn't work. My wife doesn't like it in her tea, but for coffee and, baking cookies and stuff like that. Oh my God.
Bread.
Oatmeal. So Jeff, what I do is I pour a little bit on my oatmeal and then I get my chia seeds and my oatmeal. There it is. And then I put my, a little bit of cottage cheese on the top and it is phenomenal.
I love hearing each person's own little way they do it, because we love like an organic Greek yogurt and then flavor it with buckwheat. Oh my, it's amazing.
So
But
where,
not for everybody. The funny thing is, it
right.
has a really pungent smell, and so a lot of people are turned off just when they open the jar and they smell it before they try it. They say, I can't eat anything that smells like this, but
What's the most unusual honey that you have, do you think? I
wow, that's
mean,
a question. Probably this stingless bee honey from Tanzania. Um, it tastes it's made by stingless bees, so it doesn't taste like any honey you've ever had. These bees, they bite, they don't sting, they build nests down in the ground, and the honey they produce tastes like apple cider vinegar. Um,
oh,
and actually, when I taste this stuff, I equate it with like sweet and sour Chinese food sauce. It tastes like, but this is extremely medicinal honey from Africa. Um, People make tinctures and use it as an eye drop for glaucoma and different eye ailments, and it's supposed to be extremely beneficial for your eyes, also as a topical for wounds, and also just an overall immunity booster eaten small amounts. So it's
what are some other things that honey is good for in terms of medically and our health?
well, allergy relief. The funny thing is when allergy season hits, I feel like I'm a pharmacist. People come in here with runny eyes, sneezing. I need some raw honey, So we prescribe it. But
And does
yeah,
does that need to be local, like in your area?
most people think it does, but I have been in this business long enough to know that it does not need to be local honey. Raw honey produces products that add to your histamines, and your histamines are your natural defense in your body against allergies. And any raw honey will help boost your histamines levels. So,
Okay.
so yeah. So other factors. I had my gallbladder out a few years ago, and so depending on what I eat at night, sometimes I'll have a gastrointestinal acid reflux type thing in the middle of the night where I get a burning acid in my system. A spoonful of honey within 5 minutes soaks up that acid, and the acid reflux is gone completely. It's unbelievable, and I stand to tell you that. It also helps with respiratory ailments, asthma. Honey does. It can also help. It helps me with sleep relief too. It helps me sleep deeper and not wake up as much, because honey creates tryptophan and also serotonin in your blood, which converts to melatonin, which helps you sleep deeper. I know that for a fact that helps.
Now, John says he's been doing honey for allergies for 40 years and it works great.
Yes, yes.
Now,
We also, we do a lot of bee pollen, and we do a pollen blend where we take the pollen and crush it into a powder and then blend it in with raw honey, and that's like an added boost of energy, which the pollen produces, and then the carbohydrates and the benefits of raw honey together. So that's like almost eating what the bees eat. They eat bee bread inside their hive. That's what they live on in the winter times. So the combination.
so Jeff, the bee is really in trouble, isn't it?
To a degree, yes. Yes, their foraging areas are becoming more and more taken over. So many pesticides out there. They're also dealing with a varroa mite that is killing
Yeah.
the larvae inside the hive. So yeah, they're up against a lot of odds, but with awareness and people knowing about it, using pesticide-free plants in their yard, is very, very important. And then also contributing to different organizations that help promote bees. But beekeepers can actually produce more hives and more, they can actually increase their numbers over a period of time, but big time deal with bees and yeah, the colony collapse disorder is a big deal.
It's getting more, beekeeping is becoming pretty popular, isn't it?
Backyard beekeeping especially is big and very popular, and we get a lot of people that want to get into it, and we tell them, check your local beekeeping association. I would think that with most areas will have one. Join that.
Down
Meet.
in Eugene, they have Glory Bee. They have everything you need, um, from the hives to everything.
I would support somebody besides them. I mean, nothing against Glory Bee. They're actually competition to us because we're in a lot.
Oh,
But they've scaled back. I don't think they even have the Save the Bees program anymore. There's a place in Salem called Flying Bee Ranch.
so it's Flying Bee Ranch in
Right, in
Salem.
Salem, Oregon. They do a lot of beekeeping supplies, and they're friends of ours, and they're great people.
Because it's not like, I mean, it's something you have to really work at. It's not like it's just not the easy. You have to, I mean, there's an education level.
Yes, and the thing that really helps when you join an association, in March and April, you get the nuke hives, and basically it's a miniature hive that are sold to people that want to get into beekeeping. And when we did this, we had a mentor come with us and help set it up. So if you get to know beekeepers and are able to do that, it really is a help because it's a very overwhelming to start out in beekeeping.
And
But
aren't they kind of like the beekeepers are kind of obsessed about it and love people that are, I mean, when somebody comes in and they want to get involved, these people, it's kind of like forestry. When I know a lot of forester people, and when folks buy a little chunk of land, 20 acres, and they want to do forestry, these people, they love to see people get in the club. You know what I mean?
mhm.
They want you, if you're encouraged to do bees, they want you, they're going to help you figure that out.
The amazing thing, we moved in and had bees, and within the first year or two, our neighbors said, "My apple tree has never produced this many apples before. It's because of your bees." And I got to take credit for them. They pollinate so much in this area that it's so beneficial, especially in farming areas in rural communities. It's really helpful.
Yeah, and in Oregon, even in a city like Portland that's so big, there's so much vegetation and plants and, I mean, they should work out some kind of tax incentive for you.
Do they, Jen? No.
No, but they should.
No.
Wouldn't that
Okay.
be- yeah,
Uh,
you're pollinating the neighborhood and making everybody's plants and flowers more beautiful. You know what I mean?
And we most people don't realize this, but in the middle of summer, a thriving beehive, which can have up to 60,000 bees with one queen, a beehive will need about a gallon of water a day. So our neighbors have said, "Oh, I put rocks in our bird bath so that they have something to land on, and your bees are over here all the time drinking up my water, and I keep it filled for them." And that's so true. They have to have water to be able to make the nectar into honey. So it's pretty important.
So how important is that queen bee?
Oh,
I don't mean just the one standing next to you.
I'm telling you, man, on Mother's Day, you got to think she's mother to that entire hive, one queen. And we get a lot of in swarm season, which is usually May and June, usually sometimes in April actually. If that queen, she makes it through the winter and that hive is bustling and she has no room to start laying eggs, they will swarm. She will send a message to the rest of the bees that her days are numbered. She's leaving with half the hive. So the bees will start to create a new queens. And
How
the
do they
crazy
do?
thing,
I don't mean to like make this into like an X-rated. How do they? So Jeff, how do they make a new queen?
well, the worker bees lay cells that are larger and they feed these larvae royal jelly. And the royal jelly makes these bees into super queens. That royal jelly, which people use on their skin, we actually have
Yeah.
royal, we sell it separately. That royal jelly, she gets fed that for the whole 3 weeks of her time being created from a pupa to a larvae to a bee. And that's what makes her super. That's what makes her amazing. You can look inside the hive, and the regular brood cells are small, but the queen cells look like peanuts. They're at the bottom of the frame, and you can actually tell that they're going to swarm just by seeing them making these queen cells. The funny thing is, there'll be about 10 to 12 different queen cells. The first queen that hatches kills all the rest of them because there could only be one. So after that, the old queen leaves with the swarm. We capture them in our yard quite often. And then the new queen has to go out and do a mating flight, and she'll mate with up to 20 different drones, come back to the hive, and she will live 5 to 7 years. She will have over 2 million spermacea in her body that she can just continue to lay eggs, up to 2,000 a day in the summertime.
So after she breeds with them the first time, she never has to go back to them.
Correct. And she never leaves the hive after that. She's just in there. The worker bees and the nurse bees just treat her like royalty. They feed her. They clean up the cells so she has somewhere to lay new eggs. She's the queen. There's only one.
So there's no need for a man after that.
No, in fact, it's a female world. In the fall time, the drones, their only purpose is to mate with a queen. The drones are kicked out just like ants. They go. They don't have stingers. They don't produce anything. All they are is just extra cargo. So they're gone. It's a female worker bee and queen world.
So the worker bees are females?
Are all females.
That is so interesting.
And I'm telling you, if any of your listeners are interested in beekeeping, have them go to a local class or look online. It's amazing. And the funny thing is, it's like fishing. If you want to find out about ways to beekeep, you can go online and you'll get 10 different stories. Everyone's got their own system for doing it. You know how that works?
Yeah.
And it's fascinating with beekeeping.
I had no idea that it was. So where do the drones go when they get kicked out?
They just die outside the hive.
So they're only good for one thing, huh?
The worker bees will just take them out to the ledge and push them right out the hive. That's why in the fall time we'll get a lot of yellow jackets around our hives, because they're feeding on these drones that are dead. And the drones are amazing. They're a little bigger than the worker bees, and they have these huge eyes. And the eyes are so that they can find, when they're out looking to mate with the queen, these eyes work as they find so much more with a great eyesight.
So do the queen bees, do they have eyes too? Do they have good vision?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But not like the drones do. The drones have the hugest.
And do honeybees only sting? They do have stingers, right?
They have barbed stingers. Yes. So,
but they don't. I noticed, like, here in my yard, we have. Even in Montana, we got a lot of bees, and we'll get these other little black and rust-colored ones, that are bigger. They're not a honeybee, I don't think.
Probably a bumblebee.
But they're a bigger bee. But we don't. The kind of cool thing in Montana, we don't have yellow. I don't think we have yellow jackets. I've never seen one.
Really?
Yeah. And so when the honeybees come up, I work in the yard and I'm right there, and they're just like all around you. They don't even bother you. They have no interest in you.
No. And, most bees, the only reason they'll sting you is that they're protecting their hive. If you're a beekeeper and you're taking the lid off and you're getting into their hive, they freak out. They protect the hive. But if you're not getting into the hive, the last thing the bee wants to do is sting you. And the reason most people get stung is because they panic. They're scared of bees. They give off a fear pheromone, and this pheromone creates the fear in the bee. They panic, and that's when they sting. My queen bee, Jen, she sometimes will forget to tie her hair up, and she'll go out. Sometimes they'll get into her hair, and she'll freak out, and then they'll sting her head. But if you're calm, have you ever seen pictures where people are completely covered in bees? They're
Yeah.
med- they're so calm that these bees, they're just doing their thing. They're so busy. These bees, the last thing they want to do is die and sting you.
Right.
It's
'Cause they die. If they sting you, they die.
yes. And you can see, and when you get, and I'm semi-allergic to bees, so if I get stung, I have to get some Benadryl in me or I'll break out. But you can normally see the venom sac still on your arm or your leg, wherever you're stung. You have to scrape it to get it all out with like a card or something. But yeah, that pulls their whole stomach out when they sting you. It's terrible.
Somebody wants, what's the southern and northernmost latitude for bees? Do you know?
Well, that's a good question. Southern latitudes, I mean, we have honey from Patagonia way down south. Um, Up north, I don't know exactly. I know a lot of the provinces in Canada have bees, but I don't know the exact. That's a good question.
So does Greenland?
Um, I,
we better not give any more reasons to try to get Greenland, huh?
if I had, if I had my book out here, the World Atlas of Honey, I think Greenland does have bees.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure in the southern areas.
So what have I not asked you? This is so interesting. I have never, I never thought, didn't know half this stuff. I'm going to go home and tell my wife. I'm going to be the smartest man in the whole room.
Well, I wrote some notes down, and there's a lot of other factors that help with that physically you're helped relief from. I could just go down the list real quick. Honey has been known to reverse cancer cells, breast cancer cells, prostate cancer cells. It's helped heart disease. It lowers blood pressure. It's a great hangover relief because generally when you're hungover after alcohol, you're very dehydrated, and honey just rehydrates you quicker than almost anything.
Huh.
Uh, and we didn't mention sore throats and coughs. I mean, buckwheat honeys especially is known to be one of the best honeys for sore throats and coughs because it coats the throat. It's amazing. All honey does. Urinary.
Yeah, I've done honey and whiskey and lemon when I have a sore throat.
Oh,
And
a hot toddy. It's the best. Honey and lemon with.
hey, how is your honey packaged? Diane wants to know how it's packaged and shipped.
Well, I would say 98% of our honey is all in glass jars, and that's what we believe in. I don't believe in plastic just because it's porous. It lets air in and it does crystallize quickly. This is probably the only one. This is our new squeeze bottle, 1 pound. But we have all different sizes depending on what, like our local Oregon honey, we have it in gallons, half gallons, quarts, pints, blah, blah, blah. But some of our specialty honeys like Manuka, which we didn't really talk about yet, Manuka honey, 10 ounce and 14 ounce jars. I would say most of the exotic honeys, this is honey called cedar honey from Yemen, which is extremely medicinal, extremely expensive too.
This stuff on your website?
What's that?
Is it all on your website?
Not all of it, but most of it is.
And you guys can call them too and just talk to them.
We even have the old-fashioned honey in a metal can.
Wow.
This honey.
Hey, Jeff, what about bees and pot plants?
That's a good question. That comes up sometimes. When there's nothing else to forage on, bees will go on to cannabis flowers and extract nectar, but generally they won't. There's been some studies in France where they had bees in a restrained greenhouse, and so all they had to do was get nectar from cannabis, and it does work. We were one of the first companies to do a CBD honey, but we blended separate honey with distillate from cannabis. from CBD, CBN, CBG. But for the most part, bees don't care about cannabis flowers. No.
When was the first beekeeping? When did it start? Do you know? I mean, like historically.
Well, the oldest cave drawings they have cave drawings in Spain, and I believe they go back 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. But the Egyptians, they buried their pharaohs with honey because they felt that it would keep them in the afterlife. So they found actually clay vessels in Egyptian tombs that had solidified, but was completely still good, heated up. Not very good, but it was still edible from that long ago.
So somebody says mead is for romance. Is this like the treatment for ED?
Mead, could be, I guess. I don't know. We sell a lot of honey for mead, and I've drank some really delicious meads.
I have too.
But I don't know a lot about the beneficial properties. Since you have to heat it up to ferment it, I think maybe some of the properties are gone out of it. But the mad honey has been told to possibly create an aphrodisiac effect. This particular honey from Yemen, cedar honey, over in Saudi Arabia and some of those countries, the men take this honey and then they take carrot seed, ground carrot seed, and blend it together, and that is supposed to be a very effective aphrodisiac. But honey in general is supposed to help boost the whole process a little bit.
Well, Jeff, you have been a super wealth of knowledge, and again, you guys, if you're in the Portland area, you have his website, so you can go and find his website. And then if you're in the Portland area and it's just in their house, a really cute little backyard. Well, they have a little farmhouse, and then behind it is just the little bee shop, and there'll be a little sign on the front out on the street that says, honey, and then it's open. Just pull down the driveway, and or on the website, we always call Jeff and make sure he's going to be around. It's just a courtesy call. But if you're in the Portland area, you got to go stop by and try this, because they do little whole tasting. You can taste different ones, and they're not stingy about it.
Website, when the weather gets better, you can do a pollinator tour. My Jennifer, she has a huge garden out here, so it's a great photo opportunity for people to come by and take pictures of butterflies and hummingbirds and bumblebees and honeybees. And then when it's nice weather, you can visit the hives. We can talk about bees out in the yard, and it's quite an experience. And this is my life. This is what I was meant to do, and it's really quite benefit.
So you guys really found your thing, didn't you?
We did. And this is our full-time work. I'm semi-retired. I mean, I get Social Security, but this helps boost things. Jennifer, this is her full-time job. She's kind of my social media and website person, but it supports us. It's fantastic.
And you're doing what you love, and you're having fun, and that's what so now you don't have to retire really, because you just keep doing this, and till your last breath. That's what I want to do. What I mean?
Am I interested in it too? So we could pass the baton to them.
Yeah.
But one of the best parts about this business is we meet great people like you and other people. This has opened the doors to so many great personal relationships with people.
You guys go to like honey conferences, don't you?
Yes.
There's a conference for everything, isn't there?
There is. We used to think we wanted to get in big with these different retailers and distributors, and we found out, no, we really don't want to. It's just too many hoops and things to jump through, and I don't want to be in Kroger's and all those stores, So we just have a few local stores here that sell our honey, and we're pretty proud of the website. There's a lot of news articles on honey. There's just a lot of information on there, and
John says, "Cool session, Rick. Thanks to you and the guests."
I would love to come back on too. If you want to do topics, or we could even do a walking tour of our pollinator garden in a few months when it's nicer weather too. So.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We'll do that again. We will.
Okay.
And I'll be back in Oregon because I do a timber project for the timber industry. So I'll be back. And I got that grandkid, that lives just like 2 miles from your house. So
Yes.
we will see you guys later on.
Thanks so much.
Hey, Jeff, thank you, man. You guys share it however you want to. Okay. Do whatever you want to do with it.
Appreciate it.
I'm not proprietary.
All right.
All right. See you, Jeff. Bye-bye. So there you go. And you guys, it's natural. It's real stuff. When I was a kid, I used to call it bee boogers. But it's something that you can, and it really is fun to go to their place because they'll let you taste everything. I mean, if something's open, you can taste it, and they're really good about that. So share this on your page also, because other people, for the health aspects, and if there's people out there that are struggling with different things, and this may help them. Also helps Jeff and Jennifer. So it's good for everybody. All right. Tomorrow night, Dr. Frank is going to be on. He's going to talk about elections. He's an elections official. We've had him on the show before. He's not from Oregon. He's talking nationwide, but he's going to be in Oregon soon. So he will tell you about that. And very informed on processes, how things work, how they don't work. So he'll be really interested. And then on Thursday, Jack Tibbetts is a gentleman running. He owns a winery down down near Cottage Grove, and he's running for House District number 6. So we will have him on the show so you can meet him. All right. Have a great evening. Please share this on your page, and I will see you tomorrow night right here.